For What's Hot, we talk about stories that have all of us talking.
We are joined by Ben Merens, media director of the Vistelar Group. Jeff Wagner out at State Fair and back with us. No kids allowed at a popular restaurant in California. The policy not sitting too well for many parents, but the owner says he's not concerned and this policy has not hurt his business. Should kids be banned from restaurants?
You know, I'm not surprised at this at all. I'm not surprised it's coming from California either. You know, as a parent of a formerly young child, if I was to have taken her to a high-end steak place and she was screaming, I would think people would have the right to be complaining about it. And I think people know that certain restaurants are designed for certain types of atmospheres. One may just be that kids aren't allowed.
Well, the thing that... Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, for some reason, I find myself at this point in my life surrounded by young children, and I absolutely love it. And for some reason, the kids adore me. I don't know why that is. But the truth is, there's certain places that are appropriate to take young children, and there's certain places that aren't. And look, I don't mean to be that mean old guy, but if this is a very high-end, expensive restaurant. So if you have people that are going out for a romantic dinner, and they're going to be spending $50 or $100 a person, I can understand why they don't necessarily want to be next to an infant. There are places that are appropriate for families, and then there's places that are appropriate for adults. And I support this guy 100% in what he's trying to do.
I agree. I would not take my children to such establishment because A, you can't enjoy your dinner, and B, it would be disruptive to other people. And so for maybe the parents that aren't making that choice, I think he has to put this rule in place.
I think we're talking about the Fisherman's Wharf place, right, in San Francisco. So it's a tourist destination as well. But Ben, going back to something you said, you know, when you had a younger child and the child was screaming, the question is, what do parents do at that point? And I think some parents are like, we'll just endure what's going on. And I think that creates the tension.
Yeah, and right. I mean, if the child's allowed in the restaurant, once they're there, you can't really say to the family you have to leave them. But the family has some responsibility.
Yes.
If the child's upset, get the child
if you have a
calmed down.
screaming kid, one parent goes out with the kid, or you box everything up and you go.
That's right.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
I will tell you this,
Go
though.
ahead.
Okay. No, I was just saying that there's a restaurant we go to on the east side that has a kids' room. It's an adult restaurant, but they've got a room where they got toys and stuff. So if you want to go with your family, you ask for the kids' room. You know it's going to be noisy. You know there's going to be kids running around, but otherwise it's adults.
All right. Coming up next, we are revealing the viewer's choice topic of the day.
And Michael Fish back with another look at the forecast. Viewer's choice topic of the day.
Again, we're joined by Ben Merens and Jeff Wagner. Today's viewer's choice topic: 2 Americans with Ebola are heading back to the U.S. Officials at Emory University Hospital in Atlanta, Georgia, say they're getting ready to accept the patients. That patient will be kept in a special isolation unit. Are you concerned about the Ebola patients coming to the U.S.?
And actually, I think this is an opportunity to look at how wonderful the world can be. The U.S. trying to lead the way in curing this with a vaccine that actually one of the 2 patients opted to give his vaccine to the other so she would have a chance at healing from it. And they've got all sorts of precautions. This was eventually going to get here. It's a matter of whether we bring it here or it comes here by accident. It's probably a good thing we're doing it. And yes, there's a little bit of a fear, but the fear of not dealing with it is probably greater.
I'm not worried about these 2 patients. I'm worried about other individuals that you don't know are infected, because the incubation period of Ebola can be as long as 21 days. So if you're asymptomatic and you come back to the U.S., you can infect other people before you know that you have the virus.
Yeah, I agree with you, Courtney, and with you, Ben. My big concern is people who are coming in who have contracted this and don't know they have it. In this particular situation, you're able to do it in a way that you hope you can control it. So, I mean, I have no problem with this on a humanitarian level, if nothing else.
Well, and on top of that, again, they're taking all sorts of precautions, but the idea here is that there's a potential for vaccine. They're talking about one coming out in the fall, and we haven't had the Ebola here. If it had gotten here, we'd know it. Even if it's the 21 days, that would happen pretty quickly. So we know we're bringing it in, hopefully under a controlled circumstance, and hopefully with a good ending.
I agree with you. Let's hope for that. All right, let's move on.
Lightning round time. The Brewers still hanging on in the National League Central Division. They are still on top. Just made a last-minute change, adding an outfielder to the roster. The question here, will the Brew Crew make it to the playoffs.
Go ahead,
It's been
Jeff.
a little dicey.
Okay.
It's
Jeff,
been a little
come on,
dicey.
I have a very strong feeling about it. First of all, though, we've got all sorts of stuff going on here. I want to bring in, I've been getting photobombed for the last couple of days. We've got some of our What's Hot alumni here with me. We got Tracy and Eric, who just couldn't get enough of What's Hot. So, they've been hanging around out here as well, taking in the fair. As far as the Brewers, you bet. The Brewers are going to the playoffs. Great trade they made yesterday. This isn't even going to be close. They're going to win 2 out of 3 this weekend from St. Louis. They're on a roll.
Wow.
Spoken like a true, wow, what was that? Spoken like a true homer. I'm a Chicagoan by nature, a Cub Flub fan, if you will. So if they win 2 of 3 this weekend in St. Louis, I'll join Jeff getting on the bandwagon. But right now, I'm a little nervous. St. Louis has an it factor. I want to see them squash it in St. Louis this weekend.
So, Jeff, is that universal thought out there with Eric and Tracy?
Oh, yeah. I got to tell you, one of the exciting things about what's been going on around here, you see all these people who are wearing Brewers equipped stuff. I mean, I'm used to seeing a lot of people out here with Packers stuff. People are wearing Brewers stuff. They are excited. This is going to be, I'm telling you, this is a great year. Plenty of room on the bandwagon. Hop on.
I love it when they go to the playoffs. It's so much fun.
And we marked the tape, Jeff. Didn't you pretty much predict this in the spring?
I did. Okay, they've got another 50-some games. It's going to be all good. I guarantee it.
If you want a prediction, as I'm looking at it, I'm hoping they are the second team of the wild card. But if you crunch the numbers, the quality of the other teams, that's what I'm thinking we're going to see. I hope I'm wrong.
Well, yeah. I mean, right now they're in first, 60 games. They've won 60. Yes, tough series coming up with St. Louis, but
And
that's
they
what
tend
you
to
want.
struggle in those.
Well, yeah, but in August is the time to play, so that in September you can play in October. That's the thinking, and right now things are looking good. Let's hope for the best. We're going to leave it at that. Thank you, guys.
All right.
The What's Hot discussion continues online. Find that page at tmj4.com.